pussy squad bastard.
This is not my bar.
Dominic De Niro, you suck.
That's right, Dominic.
All right, BCW faithful and first-time viewers, welcome to the hottest, newest weekly pro wrestling show out here today. Welcome to BCW's Curtain Call, where we get you up to speed with everything Brii combination wrestling. And by now, if you haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe below and follow BCW on all social media platforms. And if you're wondering who this ruggedly handsome individual is with these melodious tones piping right through your speakerphone, I am your host, the host that covers the most, Jimmy J. And today, faithful, we draw closer to the biggest event of the year for BCW, the Anniversary Show. Anniversary 4. And you know, whether it's weights that have no weight or drinks, Governor AJ Pan seems to have his hands full as of late, especially now, because we got some breaking news for everybody out there. A street surveillance camera captured this footage of Azriel as he was on his way home from the gym. Just take a look at this. Just inches away from total annihilation. And Governor Pan and BCW management are working diligently on finding out who the culprit was in this attempted murder. And Governor Pan, he's taken all precautions. He has 2 large men standing guard in front of Azriel's home. He has meals being delivered to Azriel as I speak. I mean, meals on wheels. The man is even seeing a therapist. He is traumatized. And the question is Azriel even going to make it to the Anniversary Show? I mean, this whole #1 contendership match is a total debacle. Azriel almost getting taken out. No word on Eric Jaden. What's going on here? And Governor Pan, as if he didn't have enough on his plate, another match has been announced for the Anniversary Show. It will be Pan Corp Agency members Joey Ace and Mike Law teaming up to go against Too Good. And, well, we've seen exactly how Joey Ace and Mike Law were preparing for this one. Take a look.
You ever watch The Bachelor? What?
Is that what you're really concentrating on right now, The Bachelor?
Yeah, I'm running and watching The Bachelor. My boo watches it, so I'm sitting there. I'm like, can you catch up? Your boo? Yeah, my boo. What are you talking about? What do you know what I'm talking about? What boo? Okay. I see her tonight. I just don't know what time.
You send her a calendar invite at least?
Nah, I didn't put it in my G-Cal. Yo, speaking of which, though,
Did you put it in your calendar? 4th anniversary?
wait, oh,
Be careful. You're gonna.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You're not concentrating. You're about the damn Bachelor, and you're poom, but you're not worried about training for your match. BCW. The 4th anniversary.
why'd you put baby oil on here?
No, you're doing. That's you not getting your head in the game.
My head's
We
in
got
the
the
game.
PCA back together, like the real PCA. We got you. We got Colossal Mike Law back.
You smack her.
What?
Because I'm excited.
Yeah, he's
I'm back.
I don't want
I'm
to
back.
smack you.
Why not?
You don't deserve it.
Okay, we got what Big Strong, Big Cuzzo. Not gonna call him Ace, Andrew, skinny guy, right?
Right.
We got them. Okay, the difference between them and us is very apparent. You see, we're professional wrestlers, right? We look like professional wrestlers. We train like professional wrestlers. We even like have hands like professional wrestlers. Our manager,
Why can't
okay.
you stretch me ever?
Don't worry about stretching.
Oh, stop,
okay?
you know what? No, I'm tired of you yelling at me and you yelling at me. You do some push-ups and you stop yelling so much.
I'll do some hip push-ups.
Really?
Look at me go. Look at that. Big Cuzzo can't do that.
Nah.
Slim Andrews. Slim Andrews can't do that.
Leland Parker can't do that.
Who?
We're ready.
There you go. You
We're
are
ready.
ready.
Let's get ready
You sure?
for the anniversary.
Don't be yelling at me, bro. I'm tired of you yelling at me because I have a girlfriend.
I'm gonna yell at you.
You could do all those push-ups to pump up your chest, but Cuzzo and Andrews, they're just too good, and I know they aren't impressed. And just bear in mind, this is all before that surveillance footage was released, so where exactly is AJ's mind right now? How good is he going to be for Joey and Mike? Guys, you got to get it together. You're just a little bit overconfident here. You cannot take Too Good lightly. And I can't wait to see how this one unfolds in the response from Too Good. But moving along right now, we have an incredible card for everyone that night. And it's all headlined by the BCW World Championship match. Billy Brash going one-on-one with Darius Carter, and the winner faces either Eric Jaden or Azriel to become the undisputed BCW World Champion. But speaking of that match, I had an opportunity earlier in the week to sit down via Skype and speak to Billy about his opponent, Darius Carter, and it was a very interesting conversation. So, BCW faithful, take a look at what Billy Brash had to say.
All right, BCW faithful, right now I have Mr. Billy Brash on the line live via Skype. Billy, how are you today, sir?
Man, I've been better. I've definitely been better. Things haven't been going my way here lately.
Well, I was calling you to see how you were preparing for your match against Mr. Darius Carter. What's been going on?
Man, like I always take things as they come, so I prepare the same way for anybody. I do this week in, week out, so there's no real extra preparation to get ready for him. A fight's a fight. Either you're ready for it or you're not. But man, I got to tell you, my focus has been elsewhere because I've had my tires get slashed at the gym. I've had windows busted out of my car. I had my home broken into here recently, which, where I come from, that's par for the course. But like, this is the first time it's ever happened to me. So it's just one of those things. Right now, my focus is not on Darius Carter. Right now, my focus is on dealing with this. But in a couple weeks, when it comes down to dealing with Darius Carter, I'll be more than ready.
Oh, I know, and I know you are. I mean, 2018 King of the Monsters, and you hold that title very well. And I got to be honest, Billy, I'm just a little baffled right now because of what you've been telling me. I mean, tires slashed. I mean, what's going on? Do you have problems with anybody down there? Do you have any clue who this could be?
I honestly don't have a clue, man. I mean, I don't come from the best area. Where I come from is a very poor area. And, people, times are tough these days. People are scrapping and trying to get everything they can. But the weird thing with the house being broken into is that nothing was missing. Nothing was taken.
They didn't take anything?
No, nothing was taken. Everything was just trashed. That doesn't make sense to me. So, that part I can't figure out.
I mean, well, you mentioned your tires have been slashed. How are you getting to the show on the 27th?
I'm probably going to be riding up with the Ugly Ducklings. Be riding up with them. Yeah. Coach Mikey, he's got to come through this way anyway, so I'm just going to jump in the car with him. So I'll be there regardless of what's happening.
Yeah, it's just a little ironic because, earlier this week we found out that Azriel almost got struck by an SUV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's just been a lot going on with this World Championship picture. It's weird to me. We haven't even spoken to Mr. Carter yet. And Darius left a voice message on BCW management's phone pretty much saying if they don't take care of this situation, he's going to take matters into his own hands. And that's what got me concerned. I don't want to assume here, but it's very, very weird, very ironic how things have been happening.
That's a very coincidental. I mean, I don't know if Mr. Darius Carter has so much malintent that he's going to drive from Connecticut down to the Carolinas to do this himself. But, I mean, you can't put it past a dude like him either. So
that's quite a hike. But, I heard a different Carter. It's like a desperate man almost. But Billy.
He should be. He should be. He should be.
It's King of the Monsters.
That's right.
And listen, we don't know. Listen, if you win this championship, that's the question I have for you. If you win this championship, is there anybody out there that you want to face more than anybody else? Anybody out there?
Number one, you're using the wrong term. You're using if. It's when I win that championship. That's the main thing. And honestly, I've been this way my whole life, man. I'll fight anybody that stands in front of me. There's no one who's on top of the list. There's no one who's lower on the list. If you're standing across from me and you got something to say and you got something you want to do about it, there's only one way to find out who's the bigger man.
Hey, listen, very confident and rightfully so, Mr. Brash. I just wanted to ensure that you were doing well and, to see how you were preparing for this. But, you had some unfortunate events, but you will be making it on the 27th. That is the most important thing here. Is there anything else you want to say to the champ, Mr. Carter, or to the BCW fans?
I mean, Darius, It's one of those things, man. You're the type of guy who likes to hold up his title and you like to put it in people's face. You want everyone to know who you are. You know what? I know who you are, and you know exactly who I am. So there's nothing left to do than to get this over with and take that title from around your waist, son.
Billy, thank you very much for joining us today on the Curtain Call. I appreciate your time. I can't wait to see you on the 27th, and good luck, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, man.
You know, after that interview with Billy Brash, I sat down and I thought to myself, I'm like, this whole world championship picture is a nightmare. I mean, one man almost gets taken out by an SUV. Another man puts his career on the line, and we haven't even heard from him yet. And now Billy gets his tire slashed. And I thought about it. I'm like, you know, there's only one individual. There's one man who we haven't spoken to yet. And that is the BCW World Champion, Mr. Darius Carter. And myself, Mr. Cole, BCW Management have been trying to get a hold of Mr. Carter for weeks. Especially after that voicemail that he left. And finally, 2 days after that interview with Billy, I picked up the phone and I said, let me try again. And it was later in the evening. It's around 10 o'clock at night. And he answered. And I said, Mr. Carter, we got to talk. And I notified him that we were recording that conversation. And we did just that. And folks, BCW faithful, wait no more. Because your BCW World Heavyweight Champion for 490 or however many days it is had a lot to say. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Take a look.
Mr. Carter, thank you. I know it's late. It's 10 o'clock at night. I want to thank you for actually allowing me to record this conversation and get out to the public. I've been trying to reach you since that voice message. A week and a half, 2 weeks. Every day I've been calling you. Management has been doing the same. And finally, I got a hold of you right now. First and foremost, I listened to that message. And, yeah, I heard Mr. Carter, I heard the champ. But I also heard Mr. Carter that was a little perturbed about this whole scenario for the World Championship right now. I mean, a man with your resume, shouldn't this just be another step in that stairway to ultimate success for Mr. Carter?
Okay, well, first of all, let's and I let you talk, I let you say your piece. So let's keep it honest here. Let's keep it 110. Okay, I was trying to reach BCW management for all this time. All right, that was what that voicemail was about. I made it very clear that I've been trying to connect with the company that has been booking me. Okay, the company that I'm the champion of, and it took this company too long to get back to me. So now the shoe's on the other foot, and it doesn't feel so good, right? Now BCW wants to contact their champion, and their champion doesn't pick up. That is how it works. That's quid pro quo. That's you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You don't scratch my back, I don't scratch your back. So I like to see that you guys are sweating now, that BCW is sweating now, because that's the situation you put me in. You want Darius Carter to sweat because you want to promote that. You want to promote my struggles to the people. Come to this BCW event. Watch our champion. Watch us put our champions back against the wall. We know you don't like him. We know you're not a fan of him. So we're going to put the squeeze on him. Just pay us $10 at the door. Pay us $15 at the door. See, that's funny that's how a business wants to work. You want to squeeze. You want to put the squeeze on me. But God forbid I'm not there for you to do so. God forbid I don't put myself in that situation. And now everybody's in a panic. Cole's in a panic. Anthony Cole's in a panic. You got other people calling me in a panic. And now they're sending you in a panic. Yeah. And then you want to say, Darius Carter is panicking. That's what you want to say. Oh, that I'm concerned, that I'm worried.
I just went off based on what I heard a little bit because... Right. Based off what you heard, right? And who'd you hear it from? Well, yeah, take a breath. I mean, I've heard it. I've heard it on the message. I mean, you were irate in that message, and it sounded like the only reason you called, in my eyes, was because you're possibly going to be defending your championship twice in one night, and that never happened before.
It doesn't matter why I called. See, that's you're out of line. You're out of line, okay? And I appreciate you, Jimmy, for what you do. Okay, you're an asset to the company. You are. But you're you're stepping on a line, okay, that you're not ready to step on. And maybe it's not your fault because other people are sending you to do their job. Maybe people are strapping a backpack to you and telling you to run down the street and knock on this person's door. You understand? You're not doing it right, man. And it's not entirely your fault. It's a consequence of the product. Okay. But this is not how you treat your champion. Okay. Your champion coming up on 500 days of running this company on my back, up the hill, the flag in hand, the torch in hand. You understand? I'm a torch runner.
Yes, sir.
All right. I bring light to this company. I bring attention to this company. I've made this company go viral. I've went viral at the sake of this company. I've put BCW on the map and back again. So for me to have to struggle even once, even briefly, to reach the company that's booking me because I want to know what's going on. And that's what's been going on is I'm finding out later and later and later when my opponents are. I wasn't even told about Riley Shepard until the actual night and we're at each other's necks. Then all of a sudden, oh, Darius Carter, now that you showed up for this booking, now that you showed up, here's your opponent. And I had an hour to prepare, maybe, when I've been knocking on BCW's door. All I wanted to know was who I'm facing. I didn't care who it was. I just wanted to know. But I had to show up to the venue with my gear bag to figure it out. That's disrespect. That's disrespect.
And I agree that there is a lack of communication with BCW management. So I can completely understand where you're coming from. But there's also been another situation that's been going on. I don't know if you're aware of this. This whole World Championship scenario it's a nightmare. It's a total debacle. I mean, Azriel, we found out, almost got struck by an SUV. And apparently, I just got off the phone with Mr. Billy Brash, and somebody slashed his tires, broke his windshield, and broke into his home. This is now. I'm not assuming. I'm not assuming here. I don't want you to think that, but don't you find it just a little ironic and coincidental that these things are happening?
Wait a minute. You know, wait. Watch yourself. Okay. These are unfortunate situations. All right. Wrestlers go through these all the time. You hear the flat tire stories. You hear these machinations, these wild machinations that come up. Oh, this is happening to me. Are we even sure that this all really happened? I know you mentioned that Azriel getting struck by a car almost, and for that I feel terrible. That's probably one of the Satsujin squad, because that's all they do is run amok on all these shows. They do whatever they want. They don't have to face repercussions for anything that they do. They've been involved in my business before, and I'm not even looking in your direction. So how do we punish them? They're getting tag title opportunities. They're still in the tournament, and they've been running amok all over. So you tell me who looks guilty. Don't come to me with an accusatory tone. Don't do that. I'm not the one. Okay. And again, I think maybe you should be sorry. Maybe you're being shoved into saying this to me. Maybe you're being pushed into, hey, can you call Mr. Carter, our champ, and just see if he's responsible for this? No, check the Satsujin squad, because Azriel is a wrestler, okay, and Eric Jaden, many can say that he's not a wrestler, okay? Who knows what Jaden is? So maybe Jaden is desperate. I saw that video of Eric Jaden, putting his career on the line. That man looked desperate. That man was, what was he, at Seaside Heights looking out at the pier, watching the seagulls fly around? Come on. The seagulls getting more food than he is, pecking off the ground breadcrumbs. Jaden can't even get breadcrumbs. So it looks like Jaden is the desperate man here. So maybe you should be calling him with that nonsense. Okay? As for Billy Brash is down south. Them southern boys, they do crazy things down there. Okay? That's a different lifestyle down there where he's at. Getting your house broken into, that's a lot more of the norm down there than it is where I live and places where I'm at. So that could be anybody. Okay? That could be anyone doing that to William Brash. That's not my business. And don't ever call my line with an accusatory tone like this, especially knowing what you know about my situation. You know what the All-Father is going through. You know what I'm going through. Okay? You're talking to me every step of the way. I'm talking to you before I'm talking to management because I want you to relay the message. Just as you're playing messenger boy, answering them, listening to what they tell you. You don't listen to what I tell you. So now you get to listen to everybody. You're the listening man from now on. How's that? So you send them that message. All right. Before you want to accuse Darius Carter of hurting or getting anybody injured before a show, how about you look at who's really desperate on your card? Who's the one that put their career up because they can't win a match, because they can't buy a W? There was the last continent on earth. Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we talk about Jaden and his depression from acting like he's done something? The guy has done nothing. He's been a BCW original who sat there for years, 4 years. He didn't get a championship opportunity because he hasn't earned one. He hasn't deserved one. And he still doesn't deserve one now. So you want to talk about concern that I have? Yeah, I'm concerned that BCW isn't able to write anymore. I'm having concerns they don't know how to book anymore. I'm having concerns that BCW doesn't know what to do anymore. And that's why I'm upset. Because I've told them ways to go. I've told them to fly me opponents in from the United Kingdom, from Japan. We've talked about this. Where is that? Where are those matches? Instead, I got 2 matches in the same night when I have no clear challengers in sight. Well, why don't we have a one-night tournament? Why don't we have a one-night tournament? Get 8 to 16 competitors one night. Everyone else is doing tournaments. Get a tournament.
That sounds like a great idea. I mean,
it sure does.
More options.
It sure does. 16 competitors, 8 to 16. I don't care. And at the end of the night, how about I face the winner then? How about I face the winner of that tournament? Or how about that? Why don't we do something like that? But then we say, oh, well, that means the opponent has to go through 4 matches to get to you, Darius Carter, or 4 to 8 matches. Oh, it's not fair, is it? You want a championship opportunity? Earn it. I'm sitting here having to defend my title in 2 matches. I get past the first match. I have to defend it again in the same night. For what reason? For what reason? 3 of these, of the 4 people, all right, I have 3 people that are looking at my championship right now. I have Billy Brash, who I'm facing, okay, already. And then we have Azriel. And then we have Jaden. I've beaten Jaden and Azriel already. I took the title off of Azriel, and I beat Jaden in the most decisive championship defense. There was no question who was winning that match. There was no question at any point. You saw it. I saw it. The only person I haven't beaten is Billy Brash, and that's because I haven't faced him yet. So you telling me I gotta beat someone and then go on to beat someone I already defeated? And then you want to call me and say, well, it's a little ironic that Azriel is almost hit by a vehicle. And it's a little ironic that Billy Brash had his home broken into. Have you seen Billy Brash? He looks like his home gets broken into every other night. So don't come to me with this.
Oh. Well, now that I got you on the phone, in a way, I'm kind of like the middleman. BCW management, they have a lot on the plate, apparently, according to them, and they want me to reach out to everybody. So I do. Mr. Cole wanted to speak to you personally. He's been trying to get in contact with you. Some of the management as well was trying to speak to you.
He's been trying to get in contact with me. He's been trying to get in contact with me.
He wanted to give you. Yeah, he told me, listen, relaying this message, he wanted you, because he understands there's a lot of frustration built up inside of you. He wants you to really just let everything out. He wants you to give you that platform, and he feels like the Curtain Call is that platform. He would like to set something up, maybe arrange something to go down to the Carter estate if possible, and just have a sit down and let you vent and get everything out.
Now you want to come to me. How ironic. Look what happens. This is why people do. This is why the world is the way it is. Because the people who deserve what they deserve don't get what they deserve until they stage a coup. Until they disappear. It's like your job. You go to your job. They don't appreciate you. And then once you don't show up to work for a week, all of a sudden you have your inbox flooded, your emails flooded. Everyone's wondering where you were. Darius, I've been calling you for days. What happened? That's funny. The only way you can leave a voicemail is if they don't pick up the phone to begin with. The only reason that voicemail was possible last week was because no one wanted to answer me for days upon days upon days about my match. about my opportunity. The moment I found out about it, I placed the call. I think it's ironic that BCW made the announcement of me facing 2 competitors potentially in one night, and then you suddenly decided to not answer your phones. Usually I can reach BCW no problem. BCW off a snap of a finger. But once that announcement was made, all of a sudden I'm on mute. All of a sudden I can't get through. And then we want to have this discussion. Now I have to bring you to my estate. I keep things private. I don't roll like that, all right? I make money, but I don't put my money out there because there's a jealous world out here. And now I got to show you, I got to bring you to my estate. I got to show you where I'm at just to clear my name when I'm the champion? I shouldn't have to do this. These are unnecessary, insulting measures. I am the champion that's held this company up, and I'm getting torn down. That's what this is. You are the middleman. You're not kind of the middleman. You are the middleman because BCW is afraid to contact me directly. They're scared to do it without having something over my head. Now they can use this. Oh, yeah, I've been trying to call you. You only tried to call me once you heard that voicemail. I heard Cole say it. I heard that voicemail again and again and again. Yeah, you listened to it several times, didn't you? Several times. That's the problem here. Hiding. Afraid. Because they know what they did is wrong. You hide when you know you're wrong. You retreat when you know you're going to lose. And that's why Cole wasn't picking up the phone. That's why none of his other stooges that run the kitchen weren't answering their phone. And that's why you weren't answering your phone for a short amount of time. Were you? You weren't because you didn't want to have to deal with it. And then we finally had our conversation because you're the only one that knows how to press that green button when you get that call back. You're the only one that knows how to call people back. And you're not even a part of the management team. What does that say about the company that I represent, the company that I run on my back? What does that say about them?
That's a very true statement, Mr. Carter. I don't want to say anything against the company because I need this job. I'm in a tough spot, but I got a hold of you, and I'm grateful for that. I respect you as a champion, and I think that I can give you that platform, and I think it's necessary for you to get everything off of your chest. You haven't had that legit opportunity to sit down and say what's on your mind for however long you want to say it. And I think now's the time. I mean, it should have happened a long time ago. I mean, you should have been able to voice your opinions, and they should have been able to get in contact with you a lot sooner. You know, this is an issue. It is an issue with management that has to be resolved. And they know this, but I think that this is necessary. And I know they wanted me to reach out to you. They wanted me to try to set this up. And I got to confirm with you if it's even going to be possible or not to do so.
It's confirmed. I will do it. I will do it because I feel like I have no choice but to do it. I feel like now you're trying to push. They're trying to push me against the wall, which is lunacy. You know, you need to be pushing the New York State Athletic Commission against the wall in terms of your license, which is why you're not running in New York right now. Which is why BCW's Christmas with a Vengeance had to be canceled. Maybe you should spend all that time on the phone with Orlando or whoever they need to talk to get that done. Instead, you're up my tree. You're barking on my tree, barking up my tree because you want to accuse me. BCW wants to accuse me of potential situations instead of answering my original inquiry of what I was going to do and why I was going to do it. I still don't have a reason as to why I'm facing these 2 people. You already announced it. All right, it's a card subject to change, but I guarantee you they won't change that because it looks good. It looks good to put Darius Carter against 2 opponents because now it's the anniversary show. This is the biggest challenge of Carter's career. But the biggest challenge of my championship reign doesn't come in 1 match. It comes in 2. So how does it make your company look if I have to surrender this championship because of this situation? Let me put it to you. Let me make it very clear. And this is before you come over to my estate. If anything happens to me or my championship before or by this anniversary show, you know what? I won't. You know what? I'm gonna let you ruminate on that. I'm gonna let you think about that. I'm gonna finish that. I'm gonna let that sentence end with a ... All right. Because I'm not going to tolerate it. I've had enough. I'm a patient man. I'm a giving man, but I can only take so much.
And listen, that's anybody. You let something build, and it gets to a point where it reaches the crescendo, and that's it. There's no turning back. And before it gets there, because it's right there, it's on the brink, and I could feel it, I think you need to get everything off your chest. There's been a lot of things that have happened in BCW that you're unhappy with, that maybe other people are unhappy with, but you as the champ need to be heard. And I think next week is the perfect opportunity. I'm going to try to arrange something with management, what day exactly, and we can talk off the air about that, and we'll link up, and we'll sit down, and we'll talk, Mr. Carter, because I think you need that, and you deserve that. And they need to get their stuff together behind the scenes, because it's a mess, and there's no surprise that there is. So this is something that we all have to coordinate and figure out. So I do appreciate you answering the phone. I do appreciate you allowing me to record this for the public to hear, and I do appreciate you agreeing for us to come down to the estate next week. So thank you very much.
Yeah, that's right. You're welcome. And you're going to set this all up. I'm not calling anybody. You can call me. I'll accept your calls. Okay. Here on out, you send what you need to send. Send me the information. You can email it. You can text it. I'll make it happen. I'm not reaching out to anybody about this. I'm not reaching out to you. I'm not reaching out to Cole. I'm not reaching out to any of the kitchen stooges that are all in there with the same hat on, all 7 of you, all 8 of you. I'm not for it. I'm not about it. So if you want Darius Carter, reach out to Darius Carter. And if you want Darius Carter at your BCW event, maybe reach out to Darius Carter, because maybe I just won't show up to the anniversary show. How's that? Maybe then. Oh, yeah, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it? I
don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
Oof, yeah, that'd be awful, wouldn't it? Yeah. My goodness, that took the air out of you, didn't it?
Because listen, a lot of people were expecting you. A lot of people were expecting to see that title be defended, and they want
a lot of people.
They want to see Mr. Carter there. I mean, that's. I don't think that's something smart. That's not a wise decision.
That's not a wise decision. You say? You think I need the money? Think that's what it is?
No, sir. That's not what I'm implying.
Are they going to send someone to my house to take the championship? Who are you going to send? Eric Jaden? The people that tried to run over Azriel? Maybe you send over the Satujan squad and to my house, to my home, to my community, to my estate. Try that. Yeah. Take that back to the office. That's my counteroffer. They put their offer on the table. My counteroffer. How's that? All right. Send someone to my estate. We'll talk. And how about we keep that paper dangling on the edge of the table? Maybe it'll fall off. Maybe it'll get pushed towards the center of the table. We'll see.
I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement. There has to be a middle ground. We can definitely make some sort of an agreement when we talk.
Jimmy, I love how sure we are of things now. I love that we went from voicemail messages and missed calls to assurances. So this quickly happened. We quickly went from me having to reach out incessantly to all of a sudden my demands are being met. So let's stay on this. Let's stay on this train. Okay, let's do that. So let's set this up. Let's be sure that we can come to an agreement, and I'll be sure to be there. How's that?
That sounds like a plan. I'm gonna get back to management. I'm gonna let Mr. Cole know the situation, and we will talk. We'll be in contact.
That's right. Get to running. Put some sweat in your socks. Get to running. Go do what you have to do. You know where to find the champion.
Mr. Carter is beside himself right now. I mean, he voiced his displeasure, and that's not all. He wants us, myself, BCW management, to go down to the Carter estate so he can tell all. And that is exactly what we are going to do next week. So stay tuned, faithful, as that curtain comes down. Just know that next week we are going down to the Carter estate so Mr. Darius Carter, our BCW World Champion, can get whatever he has to get off of his chest. On top of that, we're going to take a look at Vanity's new side. Stay tuned. It's something that you do not want to miss. All that and more. And remember, BCW Brii Combination Wrestling is where the future lives. I'll see you next week.